What's happening, fam? L.A.R movement still moving. I think I make her nervous. Sometimes I talk to ladies, and I find that I make them nervous. The reasoning behind it never makes sense to me though. Like it just I'm like what, you know? Cause I'm one of those people who uh, when you've had a certain type of life, I think anybody who's been through a few things know what I'm talking about. You can empathize and understand people who are maybe in that position now and you were in the past. You're like, you know what? Um, this is a gesture, what I'm about to do, to say you're on the right path. Keep doing what you're doing. And sometimes, when from man to woman, it makes ladies nervous. Like, I don't wanna, I can't take this. It's really not a, it's not that big of a deal. Like, just it's okay for somebody to do something nice for you. It's not about getting your name and your phone number and trying to date you and trying to push up on you. No, it's just I see you having a rough day. Maybe this will brighten your day. I've been there before, but it seems to make her nervous, right? Sometimes I've noticed I may go places and I make people uncomfortable by my presence alone. You know, especially women. Like I might not even be paying attention to a certain woman. Excuse me, but at some point, I notice her paying attention to me with um, nervous energy, and sometimes they don't get that I wasn't paying attention to them until they realize I didn't even I didn't I, you weren't even on my radar until I felt you staring at me. You know what I'm saying? And then when I look back, he looked at me. I'm like, okay, whatever. I've been in situations where um, I've met women who've assumed things about me prior to me opening my mouth and talking. And then it, and then when I start speaking, they're like, you don't fit the stereotype I had in my mind. And now I know what I just said to you is very insulting, or they just oblivious and so used to insulting people that they don't get it. Some people just play like they don't get it though. And what happens is now it's like you're dealing with a different. You're dealing with a different animal now. It's like, well, you're not all the negative, evil things I had in my mind. Wow, wow. You're different. No, I'm pretty much the norm. Your stereotypes are pretty much the norm in what you perceive of people, but they're not. They don't. They're not true. So upon talking and it's like, okay, you're smarter than I thought. Who said I was dumb? You're cooler than I thought. Who said I was lame? Mm, you're more knowledgeable about more things than I thought. Who said I didn't have knowledge? Oh, you you've had more experiences than I thought you did. I wouldn't have known you to that would have been something you would have gravitated to. What makes you think that I wouldn't try something like that or do something like that or haven't been somewhere like that. You know, and that's when things kick in and people and I make people nervous because at that point they have to come to grips with the fact that maybe just maybe they were too comfortable in their own mental assessment of what was going on. That now that they're outside of that space, it they're not on a pedestal. Like I'm not looking up at them like oh, it's like oh we're now they're off their pedestal with in their mind with me looking up at them and we eye to eye now, right? It's like I've and that's how it feels at times. Like I've never been in this position to be eye to eye and mind to mind and on the same level, on the same plane with you. I thought I was always better than you. Now that I don't see that, you know, I'm kind of taken aback. I'm like, okay, sometimes my presence is intimidating because I might not be speaking, and I don't know why. And this is not just with a woman thing. A lot of times, I get misread for for just minding my business. You know, I might be thinking about something. Are you okay? Yeah, I'm cool. You know, you look upset. No, I'm just thinking about something. Oh, are you feeling all right? I mean, you look like you're gonna do something. No, I'm just tired. And what I mean by, and that's what I mean by misread. Like I can't be a normal human being who may be, daydreaming or drifting or thinking or, or sleepy or or planning, or figuring out something or laughing about a conversation in my mind. I can't just be to myself without it being interrupting somebody else's perception, and it makes people nervous. That's just a people thing in general. But I noticed that. I noticed that was always weird to me, and also I've made people. It seems like I make ladies nervous with being chivalrous because they act like they're not used to it. And to me, it's bullshit when they act like they're not used to it. But I just say whatever. Okay, you're not used to it, whatever. But a lot of times it's like, what do you? Oh, you know, you bought me a water from the grocery store. You didn't drug me, did you? Give me my goddamn water back. you know, yeah. How did you know I like this candy? Now this candy doesn't have ecstasy in the middle of it. Oh yeah, it's a plastic fucking bag of fucking gummy worms, and I opened the bag, put ecstasy, melted down ecstasy, and put it in all the gummy worms, and sealed the bag. By the time I left the register and came to you in this in 15 feet, you know, well not 15 feet, but just leaving, walking out the door. I'm like, this is some crazy shit, man. But sometimes I'll make people nervous. It's I knew something was up when I was in my yard. When I was in my yard, and people were nervous that I was in my yard. Right? Who are you? No, no, motherfucker. Who are you? I've been living here for a long time. you know. I remember jogging in my neighborhood, and I made a black lady nervous for the same reason. They're like, "What's it? I've never seen you before. I've been here before your house was built. I've been here before they decided your subdivision even had homes." What? Yeah, So it's kind of weird at times. Like you're making people. I'm like, I think I make you nervous. I don't understand why, but it's just a weird thing. I'm out.